All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Confessions from the Darkside. This is a aftercare episode. We did a mental health check-in before Thanksgiving, and we did say to you guys that we would be checking in constantly throughout these holiday months. And here we are after Thanksgiving, after being with family, or first few years being without family, and it's extremely hard on everybody, including Darcy and myself. But before we get into this episode, as always, we do have a disclaimer. Even though this is a light-hearted episode, we are full of so much adult content. Some may think it is unnecessary. Some of you may think that this isn't needed. If you are one of those people, then thanks for checking us out. But I will say this only once. If you can't stand the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen.
Yep.
Now, for everyone else who likes what we have here, then let's continue our regular scheduled programming. Shall we get started, Darcy?
Yes, we shall.
All right, guys. I'm Luna Rising.
And I'm Darcy Darn.
And welcome back. So, Thanksgiving is over. It's a tough time for all of us. It's a joyous time for all of us as well. It's something that we can enjoy by giving thanks, by celebrating, being with family, being with friends. But at the same time, it's also a remembrance for a lot of people that family is no longer with us. Some family might have been the ones that have been the ones who cooked, the ones who did the preparations, the ones who always, I know in my family, I had a couple of them myself, always got drunk on the holidays and were the biggest goofballs. Everybody has those family members.
You may have goofballs. In Scotland, we don't have that. When people have too much to drink, it just ends up a fight. That's it.
Yes, the good old. Well, I can't say much because I do have Scottish in me, and yeah, I do
All
get
I have is
sometimes.
Scottish in me. All I have is Scottish and Irish. No, Scottish and Irish. That's it. Nothing else. My relatives didn't go anywhere else.
No, I'm mainly German, but I'm mainly German from my dad's side, but my mom's side is where I get the Scottish, Irish, Italian, and Welsh.
So it's basically just European.
Yep. But it's always a remembrance to the ones that we lost, to the ones that we love, and to the family that we still have here that we cherish, whether it may be that 1 or 2 times a year or throughout the year, but it's there. I don't know how much you actually do celebrate for Turkey Day.
We don't do it at all here. It's not our holiday. I was trying to explain that before, that this is something to do with your country. That would be like you celebrating St. Andrew's Day or something to do with Robert Bums or something like that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to get into, the whole woke, generation here, but, we do celebrate a day where we had somebody come over to the United States and take over and pilgrimage everything. But
oh,
no,
you mean those crazy religious zealots that get sent from the UK to America and totally fuck these up? Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, I get that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why there's always these crazy religious people where and I don't understand why people are obsessed with Christianity. I mean, my husband's like, that was us, babe. We did that. And I was just like, what? It's like,
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
We're screwed up because of the UK. I
Exactly,
blame them.
us. Blame them. One, just blame us. You can blame like England and stuff. Just leave the Scottish folk alone. We don't give a fuck.
But no, I did. We did a ham at my household. I prepped it, and then I spent a couple hours with the little man up at my dad's. It was actually all right. Food wasn't the greatest, but that's because my stepmom can't cook. But that's beside the point.
She tried.
She tried.
Exactly.
I will give her that, but she's. You've probably seen memes on Instagram or little videos on Instagram or the twatter, salt and pepper, very little seasoning.
Bland.
So bland as shit. Yep. I don't like to say it because I
know plenty of bland people, man. I know plenty of bland people, so it's just like I understand.
It's just one of those things. Like, come on, add a little, garlic powder, onion powder, a little Cajun seasoning. Come on, add something.
There must be
It's
something in that cupboard, in that pantry. Just
yeah,
fucking go in there and bring it and put it on there. That's fine.
exactly.
Exactly.
But other than that, it was a pretty good day. I had 2 meals, passed out on the couch.
Oh my goodness. Was
I
it
was in
like
a
the
food.
big? Did you need to like unloosen your belt as they ripped the piss out of you in Friends all the time?
Let me tell you, I wore stretchy pants for a reason.
Oh, you became prepared. I love it, man. That's brilliant.
Yep, I have actually. So for some reason I don't know what it is because the Wrangler jeans that I have, they actually have a stretchy waistband, and I don't know why because they're not like for like oversized people. They just have a stretchy waistband, and
Don't knock it,
I
man, if it's comfort.
hey, you know what? I'm not knocking it because let me tell you something. I was just able to unloosen my belt just one notch, and the jeans stretched out, and I was like.
Did you have dessert? Sorry, because I don't eat
Banana pudding.
I don't know what is that then.
Banana pudding. It's basically a pudding that's banana flavored with
Yeah, but
actual.
what do you class as pudding? Because yours is different from the UK, remember? What's pudding to you?
I'm not 100% sure, but to me, I would kind of class it as a gelatin.
See, that's not for us. Pudding's like a cake, usually. Like you get steamed pudding, which is basically stuff that you steam, and then you have like sticky toffee pudding, which is something you bake. But you get like pudding cups, and we call them like mousse and stuff, and like kids like
Yeah, okay, yeah, I
enjoy
would
and
consider it
stuff.
more of a mousse. Yeah, I mean, it's just
I just would like to
it's
know because I'm not obviously it's not my cuisine as it were, so
yeah,
just
no, it's
checking.
I would actually more or less instead of a gelatin, I would consider it a mousse. Yeah, it's literally just basically a whipped cream with flavoring and sliced up bananas with Nilla wafers, but it comes out so good every year, and I'm just like, I need to save room, and it's not gonna happen.
Oh,
I'm gonna get sick.
see my mum when she was living. My mum, this is where I get it from. See if I'm in a place and I want a dessert first, I have it first. I don't care. And so they'll say, "We'll bring it at the end of your meal." I go, "No, you'll bring it now." And they're looking at me and I'm
See,
just like, "No."
I
I have
can't
dessert
do it.
first.
And the reason why I can't do dessert first is because growing up, my family always had little finger foods before dinner. So at my grandma's house, she used to have a shrimp ring.
Oh
So
yeah.
she'd have a shrimp ring. She'd have pigs in a blanket.
Ooh, I know what they are.
She would have deviled eggs.
Don't like them. My husband does though.
And she would just have like crackers and cheese with pepperoni or olives or a veggie tray. She'd have a bunch of all this stuff. And growing up, I would literally eat about half the shrimp tray, almost all the deviled eggs, about a quarter of the pigs in blanket, and still have 2 plates worth of food. But now it's come to my grandma, she has Alzheimer's, she has dementia, she doesn't cook anymore, so they don't do Thanksgivings like we used to.
There's no one like can I carry these traditions on? Do you know what I
My mom
mean?
and my mom and my aunt usually do, but this was the first Thanksgiving since my grandmother has been going downhill. Last Thanksgiving she was all right, so they did a Thanksgiving dinner last year at my aunt's. This year, my grandma's not doing that well. She's struggling, and they didn't want to take her on the car ride up to Michigan from Ohio, which would probably have been about 6-7 hours with her. So they just kind of made a dinner, a nice dinner at home for her because she's not doing so good. It's pretty hard for somebody who's got Alzheimer's and dementia who forgets about their family.
Yeah, it's not good for them and it's not good for like especially young kids, especially like kids that not even young kids. Some kids don't understand like,
Like
why they can't remember or anything like that. And it's devastating to watch, man.
it
Both
is.
sides.
The last time that I video chatted my grandma or my grandpa to, introduce my son to them. This was a while ago. This was pretty much right when he was born. She thought he was me. So that would have been 33 years ago. So she's thinking my newborn baby was me.
I was going to
So
say that they're going to think the baby's yours, isn't it? Is you, because that's what usually happens. Where they remember like a younger person over an older person, or
yeah,
they'll think you're a stranger.
yeah,
I've
that's
seen that as well, where it's like a wife and like a husband's got dementia or Alzheimer's, especially if it's brought on early due to like a stroke or a heart attack or something,
yeah,
and they can't remember their wife, like, or they have an episode where they remember for a big chunk of time, and then they just wake up and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?"
yeah.
It
I
must be
I
so
don't know
difficult.
how. Always, I wanted to ask my mom, but I always forget to. And it's probably something. It's probably I don't forget to. It's something I probably don't want to ask because I don't want to
Yeah,
know the answer to.
it's never
But
nice.
but I know my grandmother doesn't know my mom or my aunt,
Oh, it's
but
hard.
she does live with my grandpa, and I don't know how that is. That's the
Funny.
one question because they've been together for 50 some odd years,
Yeah,
and I don't know the extent of what
he goes to
I,
got
I
to
could.
go through on a
Yeah,
daily basis.
I couldn't even imagine what he's going through. I would probably literally break down in tears if my significant other forgot who I was. And I know it's probably really rough for him. For anybody who does listen to this episode today on this aftercare, whoever has family fighting Alzheimer's and dementia, whoever has family fighting any kind of illness, stay strong. You guys are not going through it alone, but we are here for you guys if you guys ever need to reach out through us. My grandma is going through Alzheimer's and dementia. Last year, I lost my uncle to S. No,
His
it's
out of all the things is like to get absolutely over saying certain keywords, but I can shout fuck constantly and nothing
yeah,
happens. It's
yeah,
just stupidity.
it is. And then, like Darcy had said, she had just lost her mother last year, right?
Last year, last August, August 1st.
Yeah, so guys, we understand the pain, we understand the struggle, we understand the grief, but no matter what, you guys are able to reach out to us. We'll be here for you guys.
We
But
say it a lot and we do mean it. Like we said before, we're not going to be one of those
yes,
fucking channels that becomes a complete dictates community just because they've went from so many followers to crazy amount of followers. I don't want to be like that, and we've discussed that plenty, and that's something that you can really be sure as shit is not going to fucking happen here. And if it does, you can fucking drag me to this podcast and fucking say you'd said that. What the fuck? You have my
absolutely.
permission.
You have both
I
of our
don't.
permissions,
I
guys.
don't actually. I don't give permission for something like that often, maybe ever. So that's how serious I am about it. So how do you
But
feel now that the holiday's over? With, even though it's kind of like a come down, because very overwhelming. I can only imagine.
well, it's still a little stressful, just because yeah, Thanksgiving's over, but 30 days from now we got Christmas. So,
God, I don't even celebrate the holiday, and it stresses me out because my son's at school. They want to have him in things now. My son's school's got base in it, which is basically it's a normal regular school, but it has like an additional support needs basically wing of the school. My son's in the general pop of school because he can just tolerate it and no more. And when he's getting told that he has to sing these songs and do these things, and when I bring it up, like if this was a person with another religion, you wouldn't do that to them.
yeah, and
So
it's
it annoys the hell out of me. So he's got to go through this frustrating thing that he doesn't believe in this stuff and he doesn't want to. And technically, if it goes by what religion states, that you shouldn't really be singing songs and, of other people's religion. Do you know what I mean? It was like, so I was just
yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean, that's another big thing that drives me nuts too, and that's another stressful part is people trying to push things off on other people where those people don't want it, or especially a child. It's like, well, they haven't grown up enough to know what they want. So that's one thing that stresses me is like I get it, you have all your different religions, you have all your different beliefs, you have all this, you have all that, and just trying to shove it down, especially a kid's throat, that is the biggest form of disrespect that I could think of. Not only that, it's not your place to do so. A child is a child. Yes, his parents may try to sway him one way, but that's his parents or her parents. That's who raises this child. But eventually that child's going to grow up to have their own beliefs, have their own religion, have their own talks with friends and other family member and whoever it may be. That's
opinions as well, have their own opinions, want to discuss, maybe want to know, learn other things, not be fucking, shouted and dictated to. Basically, this is what we want you to know, type of thing. We've already discussed it. If he wants to do anything religious or anything when he's 16, that's up to him. But I am not giving him the kind of childhood I had by going to a Catholic school all the way through school. It's not nice. It is not.
yeah.
So
So,
that's fine.
guys, be a little understanding to other people's religions, holiday spirits, stuff
Beliefs,
like that.
how they live
Beliefs.
their
Yes,
life.
that's like me. I celebrate Christmas. It's a tradition growing up. Darcy doesn't. I'm not gonna knock it. It's the biggest thing out of it all is whether or not you celebrate the holidays. The holidays are still stressful for anybody because it doesn't matter your beliefs. It doesn't matter what you celebrate. It doesn't matter this or that. If you have a child, especially, you're going to still have to come out of money somewhere. Period.
I think it would be easier if we just, because the way people celebrate Christmas, really, it's about Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Where's the patience, sausages? But anyway, Saint Nick. You see, if they just based it as just Christmas with Santa Claus, I wouldn't really have a problem with it. It's just when they start to do that, and again, I think everybody just see that way that you're just like, oh, we've joked about it constantly, like. The minute you hear Mariah Carey, that's it. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, this again? Do you know what I mean? This is what it's like. Do you feel like that as well? Because I definitely feel like that. I don't want to
Oh,
fucking hear her.
absolutely.
I don't want to hear it. I said,
Uh,
I prefer, like, Fairy Tale in New York. Do you know what I mean? I prefer that, even though that's sad memories for myself. But it's basically describing a unhealthy relationship at Christmas time, and we have plenty of them, not just with partners or anything like that. I'm talking about relatives that you might not care for any other day of the year, but you've got to paint a smile on, stand beside them for a picture. Do that kind of thing that your parents would make you do. You've got to go here. You've got to do this, and that's what I was talking about. How overwhelming Christmas can be, because usually we get it at Thanksgiving. So if you're not happy. So if you've been to Thanksgiving and you've got a month later, it's Christmas, you've literally been
yeah.
overwhelmed and you're having a come down. Do you know what I mean? For me, it takes a long time for me to come down from an overwhelming event or an overwhelming time. Like, even went to Costco, I literally almost had a meltdown right there and then because I had my hearing aid in. I've got a new hearing aid. It's better than my last one. And everything was so loud to the point where it literally felt like Costco was going to fall on top of me. It was not a nice experience. And that was on Wednesday, by the way, no Friday. So, and we don't really, Black Friday's not really a big thing here. It's not anywhere near as good, should I say, as a big thing. It's just not as good. And people go nuts. And I just could not believe that this was all for food and not like gifts and stuff like that. I couldn't believe the craziness. And
Yeah.
then we get Christmas. And then there's New Year. Like I said to you, Christmas is not a big holiday here in Scotland. Yes, people decorate their tree and they do stupid things. Everybody does. It's Christmas time. I'm the exception, obviously. That the time New Year comes, everybody's literally just, oh, they have one day, then that's it, then everybody just goes back to being the same as they were before. And I would rather they were like that over the full Christmas and festive period, because then I wouldn't have to, play nice because people were being false. I don't know if anybody listening has to deal with the fact that so many people are false at that time of year.
Yep.
And it really fucking annoys me. I just don't like it. I hate it. It's just be your fucking self. I'd rather you were yourself. So that's what
Yep.
it feels like when I go through the holidays. I just can't be asked. And again, I don't. You're probably the same as me, aren't you? You can't be asked. It's like, oh, what the fuck. And it's different. You have a small kid. He's what, not even 2 yet. So there's still like him
Yeah.
being.
No.
He doesn't really understand, but he's still. You'll probably get into that way that he does understand. My son still plays with the box at 11. Do you know what I mean? So, because a box can be anything. That's what my mother-in-law,
Yeah.
mother-in-law said. A box can be anything. A spaceship, basically a hideout. It could be literally a car. It could be anything to a
Yep.
child. Do you know what I mean? So the box is more. After spending all that money, they play with the box. But it just goes to show how great a kid's imagination is, and that's the kind of thing that when he was wee, that was nice to see. So it was. But now that he's older, he doesn't enjoy. It's very overwhelming. It makes him sick. like projectile vomit everywhere, which is not pleasant because my son as well is like autistic like myself. So my husband just said, we just looked at each other and said, we're not doing this for anybody else anymore. I did it for my mum, and my mum knew the distress it cost my son, but she wanted it, so I did it. That type of thing. And we just said after my mum passed away that I'm not doing that anymore. Not anymore. We'll do it our own way. I'm not doing all this fucking stupid shit, jumping through hoops for people. We're just going to have a normal day. We don't celebrate it. We do our own thing, basically. That's it. And I wish more people would just maybe do their own thing and maybe take a step back. Because it's okay to turn around to your relatives and say, fuck off. I don't want to fucking go. I want to stay in my own house, in my own surroundings, in my fucking jammies. If
Exactly.
it is, don't fucking dictate to me. I'm not going anywhere. I'll give you your presents before Christmas and I don't have to see you till it later on. But just have fun without me and I'll have my own fun. So don't ever think that saying that to someone in a nicer way, by the way, because I'm very blunt sometimes and I do know that. But it's do it in your own way. Tell them you don't want to go. You would prefer to do it this way for you and you want to actually enjoy your Christmas and not be overwhelmed and ill for the next few days because you've had all this stress. So don't ever feel like you can't turn around to them and say fuck off because you have my permission to. Tell them to fuck off. If you've got a problem with it, they can come to me. I'll tell them where to go.
Another thing too, guys, with the upcoming holidays for Christmas and especially with, the passing Thanksgiving too. Little rant and rave on two separate topics from me. One, because I am in a business. So for pretty much for my American listening folk and maybe some parts of the UK, depending on who all has aircon systems and stuff like that.
Don't you start, man. I don't want that. I'm fucking what the.
But we do work the holidays. We are on call.
Yeah.
We are emergency techs.
You're like a kind of key worker. That's what they called them during
Yes.
lockdown.
Yes, we are those essential workers on the holidays that are there for you. Don't know how many times we've gone into people's homes and people have had issues with us because their stuff's not working. Listen, we're there missing out on the holidays with our families to be there for you guys. I'm not the ignorant type of person, but be respectful to your HVAC technicians, your plumbers, your electricians, whoever has to come on to your property during the holidays.
And missing out on their own shit, basically, yeah.
Yeah, because yes, we don't mind being out there for you guys, but at the same time, our hearts are breaking because we're not being able to be home with our families.
Exactly.
Be respectful. Another one that I do want to talk about because Darcy is a very, very good friend to me, and I don't say this about too many people. Love Darcy to death. We have been there for each other. We started this podcast with each other. It's her and I became really good friends. As she just previously mentioned, her and her son do have autism. Another thing that I want to point out, because this gets under my skin, be respectful to people who have any kind of ailments, and autism being the number one, because they have I want to try to word this correctly, but they have sensory issues with too much going on around them, loud noises, visuals, touching, all
It's
that stuff.
stimulation. It's a stim. When you're overstimulated, a lot of shit, it actually can feel like physical pain. That's why people don't understand it, because we feel things
Exactly.
different, we see things different, and I can't describe it to you unless you know what it feels like, because every autistic person's different. We're not all the fucking same either.
I know.
So
And
everybody's different.
I also have family members who have autism. Yes, there are forms of autism that you may not be able to actually fully notice.
Like
but
me.
there are, yes, like Darcy, from the way I can hear her son talk, he probably is about the same way, I would assume.
Yep.
But there are other forms to where you can tell immediately that they have some sort of ailment, whether or not you may know what it is. Don't just assume that they're okay with being touched, that being talked to, that they want to listen to something loud, anything like that. Be respectful to any of that.
Yeah, it might not when we interact, we might not interact, may not look at you, might not even look in your general direction, may not do anything, may not. It's just, don't take offence to it. It's just because a lot of the time, most kids are in a family, and it's like, you're coming to someone's house or a relative's house, and you're obviously not in your own place. So it's incredibly, just leave them alone. They will come out whenever the fuck they want. And if they want to talk to you, they will. If they don't, then don't take offence, because it's a lot. Because it's a very busy, very manic time of year for anyone. So imagine when you can feel, hear, and see everything like it's actually physical all the time, and it could just be a noise, because that's me and my son are like, me hear a noise, any sort of noise that can trigger it. Mine's voices usually. If there's lots of people talking, like if you're in Costco, for example, lots of folk talking, because everybody's a different pitch and they sound different, my brain can't focus on the one person talking that I need to hear. And also, because I'm deaf in one of my ears, it's incredibly difficult sometimes for me to actually be focusing. If I can't actually hear you, I need to look at your lips as well when you're talking, because then I can actually lip read you better than listening, because so much is going on. So please don't think that they're ignoring you. Please don't think they don't want to be there. They probably don't want to be there. They might want to be there but not have all the shit. And that's probably the thing about the socialisation. It's incredibly hard, incredibly taxing, and we will probably most likely have a meltdown either there or when we get home or days later. It's going to happen because so much has happened in such a short time. But don't take offence to it. Just leave us to get on with it, basically.
Yes, and especially with some of the more noticeable signs. I have a nephew-in-law who has a form to where he's, struggles with pretty much almost anything. I've seen him at parties. I've seen him at, certain events to where sometimes when things get too loud, he starts to get physical because it's too bothersome.
Yeah. I don't do that myself, but apparently when I was a kid I could be like that, but I can't remember. That's the thing. But
Yeah.
obviously it's from other people telling me it can become physical.
But again, all I'm asking, guys, is to be respectful.
And
It's
kind.
and kind, yes. It's a struggle on a daily basis for anybody with any sort of ailment that's going on with them, whether it may be severe, whether it may be minor. It's a struggle. It's some days it's just more overstimulated than other days. Just be kind, be respectful, and especially with, how I wouldn't say minor, but how Darcy is and how she talks, and her signs aren't noticeable.
It's only when
She, yeah,
but I'm assuming you can see it if I'm on
yeah,
camera.
but she's more the type of person that would, and this could literally just be me, assuming, but she would rather you ask questions to be able to better understand her rather than just assume things. As I literally just assumed that's, how you would probably. I need alcohol.
I just said
But
I was actually gonna say to you, have you had alcohol?
no, not yet.
No, I
But
do.
no,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
but that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is there are some of the more minor to medium symptoms and stuff like that to where people would rather be understood and have somebody ask questions about it rather than just assume. And I'm not gonna lie, when Darcy and I first started talking on comms before we even started doing the podcast, I have asked questions. Darcy and I had talked through Discord, say what, maybe a month and a half, 2 months before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And I remember in the Discord that she had mentioned that, she does have autism. So naturally, yes, I understood because I do have family that have autism. But when you're talking to her through Discord and messaging back and forth, you can't really tell. Talking on the mic with her, can't tell. But, she does have autism, and it's something that I wanted to know so I could better understand her. Just like today, put it this way, she wasn't in the greatest of spirits.
Definitely not. That's actually putting it fucking lightly, mate.
Um, I'm not trying to, just throw everything out there. But yes, she wasn't in the greatest of spirits.
It's been like for
You
days,
know,
man.
naturally, the first thing I wanted to do was actually take a day from the podcast and just sit on comms and talk to her. But she wanted the distraction, which I was okay with, and I understood. But at the same time, I wanted to just talk. I just wanted to be there for her. That's what we're trying to basically put out to you guys. We just want to be here for you guys when you guys get low, when you guys are sad, when you guys are upset. We want you guys to reach out. We want you guys to know that we are here for you guys, that we are part of this community as a community, not just Darcy and I are the ones who started this community. You guys fend for yourselves. No, we're every Sunday for dinner, we're at that table. We're here.
Yep.
So, guys, we're not here to carry other people's baggages. Sometimes people do want us to do it against our will. We're not here for it. We have our own stuff to deal with that we don't need the extra baggage of other people's problems, daily routines, whatever it may be. We have our own stuff to carry on our backs, our shoulders, and yes, it is okay to talk to people. Yes, It is okay to listen. But to carry what they have, that's not okay. You're not a pack mule. You guys, just as Darcy and I do.
What if I
we
want
have
to be
our
a pack mule? Sorry.
Well, then I'm gonna buy you a pack mule costume. I'm gonna send it to you then.
No, I want a hazmat suit. We've joked about
I
this
will
before.
I will send you a hazmat suit because I'm obviously gonna have to have a hazmat suit too when I come and visit. Okay, so
Yeah, because I'm a weirdo.
you're not a weirdo. It's actually completely understandable, especially everything that's been going on the last 3 years. So I don't necessarily blame you, but
I'm not a crazy, how some people were. I have actual physical health problems that I have I'm immune suppressed. So I have always had this problem of I had to be careful about getting sick. So it wasn't to do with COVID. It literally has been like that most of my life. So before everybody goes, oh my God, no, it's because I actually have a compromised immune system. So.
yes, stop carrying other people's baggage, guys. Start doing things for yourselves.
We have enough of our own shit, man. Sometimes.
Yes, we do. I mean, I know that sounds ignorant to say. I know some people want to be there for other people, and you guys want to, be a part of people's lives, and that's okay. Be a part of them. But don't coddle them to where you're taking on your problems in your own. I know it sounds ignorant, but it's being genuinely nice. I could be ignorant, but this isn't what we're here for. We're here to be here for you guys, and we're just pointing out things for aftercare. Take care of yourself.
Yes, and it's not being selfish because some people who you're maybe talking to are talking to you. They want to it's one-sided sometimes, and it's okay to be just like, you know what, no.
Yes.
And we can't say that enough, especially this time of year. There's just so much going on.
Yes. And speaking of this time of year and having so much going on, guys, having your own place, whether that's in your head, in your home, or just going to take a hike or sit at a park or just drive around listening to music or whatever it may be, to be able to center yourself, to take a few deep breaths in, to reset any issues that are going through your mind, your brain, your whatever. Take that time to yourself. A really good mentor of mine years ago, he was actually my buddy's dad, but we were all good friends. He had a bench outside of his house. And every time I was over there, we'd always hear his dad come up. My buddy, my buddy lived there, so he knew the procedure when his dad came home. For about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15, his dad would get out of his truck. His dad would sit on the front porch on that bench. I never actually understood it until I asked him about it one day. He called it his therapy bench. And looking back, you can do that in your car, your truck, your whatever you have. But whether you're out and you're grocery shopping or coming home from work or whatever it may be, and you just happen to run into ignorant people, or somebody said something that rubbed you the wrong way and it puts you in your feels, or you just had your bad day at work. When you come home, whether you sit in your vehicle, whether you sit on that bench in the front, it's to clear your head before walking into your house. Because mainly as a man, it does happen in, cases of females as well, but as a man, when we come home from work, from a long day's work, your spouse is looking forward to seeing you because they missed you all day. Your kids are looking forward to seeing you when you get home to play with them because they missed you all day. You don't want to bring that negativity that you have dealt with outside of your home into your home. That'll extremely cause a rift that you don't want it to cause.
Yes.
But it does happen, especially with, females, like I said, with the grocery shopping or stuff like that. There are ignorant people out there. There are ignorant people who will, especially mothers who are out with their children, and then somebody says something snarky behind your back, but yet you can hear them about, oh, you shouldn't be letting your child do this, or blah, 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 this, or it gets under the skin. And it's hard for men because we got to deal with that when we come home, but it's hard for women, especially mothers, because you can't necessarily get away from your child to actually be able to breathe a little bit to calm your mind. You're with them. If they're young enough and they're not in school, they're with you. They can kind of feel that energy. So even if you just pull off to the side of the road, or you get to your vehicle after grocery shopping and you just sit there for 5 minutes and just breathe in, it'll make a difference. It's hard. It's definitely harder than, how it's coming out of my mouth right now. I get that. And I understand that. But it helps. May not help a lot, but it helps you get through the rest of the day.
Agreed.
Now, Darcy has a nice, wonderful list of stuff that you can do for self-care or aftercare.
Or if there's anything I've missed, you can tell us what you do.
Exactly. And Darcy, I will let you go through this list.
You'll let me go through this list?
I will let you. I will absolutely. I'll pass the reins on to you.
You just said you're going to pass my sister-in-law on to me.
Actually, I said reins. I didn't say rain. I said reins.
So I had rain, and I was just like, really? I was like, I don't know if she'll be okay with that. What was I thinking? Oh, God. Finally. So, all things self-care. Clear. What the fuck? All things self-care. You could watch your favorite movie, and what's your favorite movie would you say that you would watch when you're feeling like shit or feeling not yourself? What would you say is a movie for you? I've already my favorite movie. I'll just go to feel good for me. For favorite movie, it could be anything depending on my mood. A feel good movie is always going to be Evolution, like I said in the last podcast about
yes,
definitely.
Definitely a good comedy, something feel good. I also do like futuristic movies. So like Ready Player One is kind of my go-to at least once or twice a month.
Such a good movie.
It is. And now that they finally released the second book, I can't wait for the second movie to come out. But Ready Player One's a kind of a go-to, and so is Hot Tub Time Machine.
You actually like that film?
It's stupid.
Sorry,
but
I shouldn't be judgmental. Sorry.
It's a very stupid movie, but the comedy in it does kind of make up for it a little bit. But it's not the greatest movie. It's not my go-to. Like I said, Ready Player One's my go-to. But it is Hot Tub Time Machine's there because it's stupid fun. I don't really have too many go-to movies that I just watch for any kind of self-care. It's usually music.
See, I like Edward Scissorhands because I've always
love it.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, when I had to ever go to the dentist, I don't know why my mum thought letting me renting me Edward Scissorhands after being traumatically stuffed onto your mouth. You know what I mean? The dentist shut
Yeah.
But no, I just like it because, again, I was a kid who didn't have many friends, and because I wasn't understood. This is before autism diagnosis. And it's just because Edward basically was just this guy minding his own business in his house, and someone thought, let's just socialise the weirdo. Do you know what I mean? I always feel dead sad for him when he just wants to basically belong and stuff. It's kind of like when I root for the bad guy in movies because he's misunderstood. He became a bad guy for a reason. So that's why I like films like, Edward Scissorhands and stuff. It's just like, again, it was just, again, a nice memory of me, my mum sitting on the couch, me and her trying to take my mind off of being to the dentist and just watching that. And then, like I said, I'd watch things like Labyrinth, Flight of the Navigator. I really like that as well from being a kid.
And just to get on the just to throw it out here because she did mention it, and I'm gonna just have to say it. She watches Labyrinth for the penis. Okay, guys.
I didn't when I was 4 when the fucking movie came out, you dodgy prick. You couldn't see his penis on a tiny TV in 1990. Put it that way. Or sorry, I was about 7-year-old. So I would, you couldn't see it on the tiny ass wee TVs. So you only start to see it when they make the copies better and put them into HD, then 4K. 4K Jareth cock in your face. Do you know what I mean? Everybody wants to see that, don't they, at the holidays? Jareth.
I had to say it.
Well, someone usually fucking does. Do they not? Yes.
One of us always says something about a penis eventually.
Or nipples
Or nipples. Yes, nipples.
of the 90s.
That's all they showed. Nipples.
It was obviously the demographic of what men and women wanted to see in the 90s everywhere. Like, we were always cold all of the time.
I guess this would actually be like the perfect time for the joke. Ding ding, turkey's done.
Exactly. Is it cold in here? Again, still isn't appropriate when a woman says it.
No.
It's not. So I said, take some time, whether it's to go for like a nice soak and listen to a podcast or something. Not that I'm saying listen to our podcast in the bath, but you can do that too.
I am. Listen to our podcast, okay?
In the bath. So create a space that's just for you, like even if it's just in the corner of the room, whether it's your room if you live yourself or maybe if you live with someone, just create like a wee space that maybe is not a busy place. Like busy, I mean too many things on the wall, too many things on the carpet type of thing. Just somewhere where you can just relax when things get too much for you, are anxious or upsetting, and don't let it control you. And just literally just sit there or lie down, wherever you're fucking comfy, and just let it happen. And then the quicker you let it happen, for me, as if my husband said to me, you need to let it go. Like, be like Elsa, let it go. It's because I can't cry like most people. I bottle it in to the point where it hurts. And he just tells me you need to do it. It's going to hurt for a wee bit. But until you do, you're going to feel like shit. And then I eventually do it, feel like shit, then I'm better. So again, just let it happen. For someone who bottles shit, let it happen.
Yep.
I said,
I mean, my place is my game room. I mean, I can come in here, put on some tunes, just drown everything out. If you guys don't have a, did you say
I like
yours
the
is a toilet?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I cannot disagree. So don't come at me now.
No, my bathroom's a wet room, remember?
Oh yeah, that is right.
So, and it's all white. So even though it's bright, it's not busy. There's no wallpaper in it. It's all tiles. So, and it's very cold, and I prefer the cold. So it's easier for me to sit on the floor, even though it can hurt my joints and stuff. But if I lie on the floor, I do that when I'm hungover as well. Lying on a really stone floor, it's fucking brilliant. Not that I'm telling people go and get pissed and get a hangover so you can lie on the floor all day long. I'm not saying that. But no, that's my place. Mine's the bathroom because it's not a busy place. It's very, very, it's white and bright, but it's white and bright enough for me. I can still shut my eyes and it's fine. So, but yes, mine's my toilet. Judge me if you will. My toilet's clean.
I'll come after all y'all.
Exactly. So you said yours is your game room. You don't have anywhere else?
No, I mean mainly it's the game room because I can shut my door. I can the Steel Series headset that I have, I can literally Bluetooth it to my phone and just jam out the music, and it's noise canceling, so I don't hear anything around me. Shut the light off. I have a little bit of it's behind the TV. I can put it to a nice soft red and just vibe and relax.
Vibe. What do you class as vibing?
Listening to music and ignoring everything.
And everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. I just basically did the safety dance action as I walked towards my computer there.
You can dance if you want to.
Yes, you can leave your phone behind.
And with her saying that, guys, I'm pretty sure that was probably a smart remark from the other day.
What? What smart remark from the other day? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
The other day, guys, I kind of just completely ignored my phone, all my social
Oh, right.
medias,
There we go. Mm-hmm.
and Miss Darcy over here was worried about me.
I
Oh,
bet
my
you're
heart
smiling about
seems.
that. I'm sorry, but
I
you're
am.
smiling, aren't
I
you?
am.
You dick.
But she messaged me. I think when I looked at Discord, I had like 13 missed messages, and then she had messaged one of
I'm
our
not a
other friends that
stalker. I'm not a
we
stalker.
she had messaged one of our other friends to see if they had heard from me, and she even said no. So she started getting a little worried, but I was just taking a mental day away from socials. But I just was trying to, just get through the day. Just, I think you messaged me on, I think it was Thanksgiving, I think it was. And I was also just spending time with my family, just ignoring everything and just being there for my family. But, that's Darcy, guys. She's 100% there. Just like if I don't wake up in the morning to at least 5 or 6 messages, something's wrong.
You.
I love you too. No, and a lot of the time I don't want to make it sound like Darcy's just blowing me up constantly. It's usually because Darcy and I, yes, we do talk throughout the day, but with the time difference and everything, when she wakes up, she'll probably have 30 or 40 different ideas for what we could do with the podcast. And I'm sometimes the same way, not all the time. Normally it'll just be throughout the day that I'll message her, but sometimes I'll wake up and be like, hey, we should do this, or this sounds good, or this sounds good. And she's the same way, just with the time difference, she's
I'm up
already
first.
awake. Yeah, she's already awake by the time I'm going to bed, pretty much. So it's not a bad thing. When I wake up to seeing Darcy's messages, at least I know she's thinking about me.
You're all soft and gooey right now, aren't you? At that,
I
aren't
am.
you?
Sue me.
You can tell by your voice. I can't read facial expressions on a face, but I can tell by the way you speak what you're going on about. It's
Sue
quite
me.
big. What's big for me? I can't read people at all. So, what else? You can go for a nap. Did you go for a nap after you ate too much food?
No, but I passed out that night and I was almost late for work the next morning.
Did you have to work on Friday?
Yeah, I did.
Why did I think you were off all week?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Like, I don't know. It's like, what the fuck? Do you ever listen to me? That you're probably thinking.
I was off Thursday, worked Friday, off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, worked Tuesday, off Wednesday, worked Thursday, Friday, and then that following week I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I have to go in on Saturday. I didn't know I had to work. I didn't know I was on call on Saturday. I would have requested that day off too, but oh well.
Now, plenty of days off to game, chill, and
Podcast with my favorite
podcast.
podcaster.
You have any other podcaster? Are you doing this with someone else? Oh my god, you're cheating on me, aren't you?
Nope, just you and you alone.
Oh my god, you're gonna kill me. Oh, my shake went up my nose there. That was karma.
There we go. I don't even have to kill you. I'll just let your shake go up your nose.
I know, it was burning. It's not fun. Oh god, that hurts. And that's yours for laughing
Yeah,
at me.
a little cough. Got it.
You could cook something or bake something, whichever you prefer.
And as of right now, I am cooking myself some ham bean soup.
I am putting a steak pie on for my boys. Because
Now, see,
the one that we're having is a traditional Scottish one, well, Glaswegian one, because everywhere in Scotland cooks a fucking steak pie and makes it all fucking different. We can't all have the same fucking steak pie, God forbid. This one has sausages in it as well as steak, so, and that's the one that I prefer, because I grew up with that, but you don't always get it. So they're having that, and I'm probably going to have chicken and bone broth, because that's all my body can digest at the moment. And I'll have a heel when that's me. But I do bake a lot when I have when I have the energy. I have so many different gadgets that will actually helps me able to do these things, so I can make stuff with my kid. I'll probably making cookies, probably the soft and chewy ones. Like we call them American cookies, whereas you just call them cookies. So yep. So we're going to be making them. You could also go for a smoke if that helps for you, whether it's those funny ones or actual cigarettes or a vape.
yes. The devil's lettuce.
I think it's something else when you say that, but yeah.
Yeah.
You could read your favourite book or read a book. My favourite book still of all time is Pandora by Anne Rice. My favourite book. Play your favourite game. I actually don't have a favourite game right now. I do play Left 4 Dead all of the time, but I do like other games that are not video games, so it could literally be anything. You could do a jigsaw, or what is it, a puzzle you might call them. Or you could do some crafts if you get into crafting. Again, I gave up a ton of hobbies when I started my channel, and jewellery making was one, and card making was another. 3D cake as well. There's a bunch of other things that I used to do, but again, there's a lot of things I can do. I'm a woman of many talents, even though I sound like a dumbass half the time. Tinker around, because again, just messing about, doing nothing can, again, like we said, I just wanted something to take my mind off it. Plant something. If you're like me, have a greenhouse and you feel the need to, maybe you want to grow something, or you can go in if you've already planted something and you could go in, because my greenhouse used to be where I used to drink gin and hide from my mother. Because before my mother moved closer, she would come down and just tell me I was doing everything wrong. That's what a daughter wants to hear with autism, or any daughter for that matter. How much you do things wrong. Sorry, not her way. Kind of the way I am towards everybody else. But no, she would just love to tell me that I'm doing things wrong. So if I was in my greenhouse, I would be waiting till it was a suitable time for me to crack open a gin. I'd be waiting, looking at my phone. Come on, come on. Usually midday, come on. I mean, like, come on, 12 o'clock. Yes, that's what's like. You could have like a spa day, like do a wee face mask, or like soak your feet. Or you could literally do like a makeup day, because I'm right into doing that, or an SFX day where I like make like SFX and try them out. I also watch a lot of videos like that, so like gives me more inspiration. And if the mood takes you, treat yourself to something and be kind to yourself. Do you agree with my options?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? Did I kind of
No,
cover them all?
you pretty much covered them. Maybe go for a drive. I think that
I
might be
don't
another
drive.
one. I know.
I don't drive.
Yeah, I know you don't drive, but I know a lot of people who just like to drive, listen to music, and sometimes that helps. Just it's whatever you do that would normally de-stress you. So that makes you just get your mind off things for a little bit, stuff like that. So
I actually like doing Duolingo, and I read gossip and trashy shit on the toilet, random as fuck, waiting. And also before I go for a bath, I'll read random crap, and then when I go for a bath, it's like I'm not listening to it. So I'm usually listening to something on YouTube that's to do with the channel, like said, a lot of true crime and like cult stuff that I've been listening to for different podcasts that are coming up in the new year. Spoiler. So so I've been listening to a lot of that, because I like to have that in my brain, go, oh, I remember that, I need to do that kind of thing. That's what I do. It helps me. Maybe it'll help someone else, you never know. Let us know in the comments. What do you do? Or is there something that we have missed? I did forget music, which is weird, because I listen to music first thing in the morning before I touch technology, and then before I go to bed. Just I always listen to music, but it's Electric Callboy. What a surprise. Right now it's Electric Callboy, and it has been for months.
would have never guessed.
Obsessed, not. So we're going to check in throughout December, like Lunar had said before. We're going to do it just before Christmas, so probably about mid-December, wouldn't you say, that we'll probably, when we start doing our little extra, that we're not going to say what it is right now. We'll just make you wait. I'm impatient, so it's going to be incredibly difficult for me not to mention it on podcast till it actually comes out. That's how difficult it will be for me, because it's not I can't keep a secret. I just get so excited. I just want to share. So that's why most people get their birthday presents before they're supposed to, because I can't wait, because I just want them to see it now. So we just have to keep that. So it'll be like mid-December, and then we'll do after Christmas, and then depending on what what time we get up at on New Year's Eve, technically, maybe if I don't go to bed, we could maybe stream a game or something, or play a game, and have be on Discord and talking on one of each other's one of our Twitch channels. Sorry, we could do that. So we've got we're going to fight. We did say Discord is probably the best way to actually watch a watch party, because I did a test this week. It's a shite movie from Amazon Prime called The Last Thanksgiving. It's fucking terrible. It was made in 2021 and looks like it was made in 1981. It's terrible in every way and not terrible good. It's just awful. And if you didn't have Amazon Prime, you couldn't watch it like kind of with a watch party thing. So people were tuning in and then they were dropping out because you could only see what I was showing. So we probably said we'd do Discord because we can send out invitations. So if you want one, I can put it on my Discord Twitch link thing that I've got. I'll just change it. I can also put it on YouTube. I'll put it on as a post, and you just have to message, and we'll send you a link to the actual Discord to watch the movie or whatever for Christmas time. Anyway, we said that we'd end up probably using Discord because, well, I'm not entirely sure about YouTube, and they've got different. Well, they can ban you for stupid shit, and I would rather not get banned something from my channel. I can't do anything.
Yes.
So it'll probably be Discord. So we're going to be
Yep.
checking in and then checking in throughout the new year. We've already discussed that we probably will do this maybe once a month, because yes, this is a fucking depressing time of year, but throughout the year it can be incredibly difficult no matter where you are in the world anyway. So we did say we'd probably do like a monthly check-in, whether we do like a wee live on Twitch or we do an actual podcast. We're going to get
Yep.
all these new things in the new year.
Yep, and probably next episode, guys, will be a live one on Twitch. Whether it's the whoever's streaming on Twitch will, pop up a game, something maybe not so serious, but we'll just pop it up. One of us are going to be in there on Twitch. Whoever does stream it, the other one will be in there as a moderator to be able to help go through the questions or any, comments and stuff like that the other person might not see. So other than that, guys, again, please reach out to us anytime. We are here for you guys. We are part of the community. We're not just the founders of it. We are here for you guys. We want to be here for you guys. Reach out to us at any time, whether or not it is my Twitch, my Instagram at LunarXRising, at Darcy's, which is Behind the Mask Reviews, or you can message us directly. They go to Darcy. It is Confessions from the Darkside. You can message us
At gmail.com.
At confessionsfromthederkside@gmail.com.
Or you can get me on Behind the Mask Reviews with the spelling that you can see from my Twitch at gmail.com as well. And you can get me there.
Mine is... I do have lunarxrising@gmail.com if you guys want to reach out to us that way. Instagram, Twatter.
Twatter. Yeah, now it's catching on. It's catching on now.
Twatter, leave a
Elon's
comment on YouTube.
You're not going to call it that, are you? Elon's Twatter, because it means that Elon has a lady part.
Well, you never know.
You never. Oh, you don't know, do you? You never know what because he's like an alien race.
Exactly. Comment on YouTube.
Like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. Leave us like a random fact about something. We do like reading about them, and we can actually read them out in our next podcast.
Absolutely. If you guys have any suggestions for any future podcast, we would absolutely love to hear your guys' feedback for sure.
And also chat to you about it as well. Like,
exactly.
Again, because we're looking at maybe getting some guests from our community and our Discord on to discuss things throughout the year, whether it's mental health or movies or anything. We're trying, if you would like to, again, come on to one of the podcasts and speak to us about something that you're passionate about, if it's another genre that maybe we haven't spoke about yet, and we can do that, just let us know in the comments below or message us via email like we said, and we can arrange something, can't we?
Absolutely can. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you like Darcy said, if you guys want to guest on our podcast, let us know. Darcy and I will set it up. We will, discuss things with you. We'll go over the episode with you. We'll talk to you, and we'll see what we can do about getting you guys on here as a guest, just to chat, have a good time. But other than that, I think we pretty much covered everything for today on this episode. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's everything.
Well, if that is everything, guys, I'm Lunar Rising.
And I'm Darcy Darkness.
Later.
Later.